And a very pleasant good day. This may come to you on Friday. You may get it Saturday, maybe Sunday or Monday, because that's the way this kind of radio works. I can do it anytime, and you can listen to it anytime. And that's the magic or the power of real radio today called podcasting. I can do it when, and you can do it when. And that's why it probably will overtake regular radio when, hey, you have to listen to it when they do it. And if you don't listen to it when they do it, you can't listen to it. It's gone. Well, things will change. But I'm doing this on a Friday afternoon because I've told my dear wife, Karen, I said, hey, this is your weekend, and whatever you want to do, we will do. We are going to remember Mother's Day. But if I am very, very aware, in fact, as one of my friends said to me, Stan, part of your problem is you're always ahead of the times. And many years ago, I was one of the persons who said to the pastor in our church, hey, maybe you ought to go easy on all of this Mother's and Father's Day stuff. And he was rather shocked at me and couldn't figure out why. And well, I had to tell him why. Well, that's what I'm going to talk a little bit about today on perhaps forgetting Mother's Day or forgetting Father's Day, and how do we deal with those kind of deals. Hey, this is Stan Houston. We have some interesting ideas, and hopefully they'll be useful to you. The program begins right now. We are in a kind of an unusual situation. My wife, Karen, her birthday is around the 3rd of May, right then. And so usually her birthday is right around Mother's Day. And that's true. It's just a weekend apart. And my birthday is in the end of June. And so my birthday oftentimes coincides with Father's Day. And so we always have a little bit of a conversation about that because for the most part, we as a family don't really want to celebrate what we call Hallmark holidays. Nothing wrong with that, but some of these things are just kind of made up things. They're nice and good, but we don't have to celebrate a holiday just because the holiday card makers will make a good deal of money guilting us into buying flowers or cards or candy or something else that we don't necessarily have to celebrate. We will make our celebrations more personal. And again, as I said, one of my clients had said to me, and she's a dear friend, and she said, Stan, it has been surprising how I have oftentimes heard you talk about something as an idea you're thinking about, and I'm kind of fascinated by it, but then 5 or 6 years later, someone else comes out and does it and makes a lot of money on it, and I go back and say, well, Stan talked about that some time ago. They may have stolen that idea from him. And I said, they may have. And it could be perhaps I just wasn't opportune enough to take advantage of my own foreseeing. And that could be. But here really was the deal. Obviously, the Mother's Day and Father's Day, and now you do get those notices all the time. And I was reminded of again, if you don't want anything about Mother's Day, my friend Stephen has a wonderful business which helps people around the world, in effect, harvest coconut oil, and particularly in the Philippines. And he has started a company that really supports a whole village of people who have a hard life, but they have made it possible for this community to harvest what they have. Thousands and thousands of coconuts. And in effect, these people now work in his coconut company, and they harvest the coconuts. They put them all together, and they make some of the best coconut oil products, literally, in the world. And at the same time, this community has work. They have now a school. They have better roads. They have an opportunity. And it's cutting back on the bad guys and you might say, even sexual marketing and trafficking that goes in that area because people have opportunities. It's wonderful. But even Stephen had to send out a notice which said, hey, if you don't want us to send you any emails about the deals we have with coconut oil, just let us know. Well, they was fine. They could send me notices for Mother's Day on coconut oil. But I had said one time, because it just made sense to me, that here we had, and oftentimes there was a celebration in the church, and the mothers would stand, and they would be given flowers and appreciation, and the sermon was always about the glories of motherhood and memories of a wonderful mother. Well, I just said, all of that's very nice, but I know people who that brings up a lot of bad memories. They may not have had a good mother, or maybe they didn't have a mother at all. Or maybe they had an abusive mother or an absent mother. Or what about the woman who wants to be a mother and can't have children? What about her? There's all kinds of things that could make it not a happy event based on the memory of that particular person. We not necessarily should cater to them and not have anything at all, but just be careful about how much and how you overdo it, because same thing with Father's Day, I have a lot of my friends throughout life who they have had to deal with an abusive and absentee father, and it's not a good thing for them. It's not a pleasant memory for them. And for them to hear about somebody else telling about them having a super dad, it just kind of puts a little bit of a hole in their whole life. And of course now, as I'm saying this, and most of you knew it, all that makes perfect sense. But if you mentioned that 10 years ago, people thought I was crazy. What a terrible thing. Are you against mothers? Against Mother's Day celebration? No! Just be careful. Be thoughtful about the fact that the things that may make some of us very happy and we can celebrate good times are not necessarily so. So just be a little bit more thoughtful and mindful about what you do. And now, of course, that's what they do. And I hope we don't go overboard. In effect, what happens is that, as I said to my wife, Karen, I said, fine, I will not be able to celebrate the fact that my mother is long gone. And they even sometimes in the church we had, there was such a deal is that if your mother was still alive, the men were to wear a red carnation. I mean, we're going back into the 50s now. You were supposed to wear a red carnation. But if your mother was dead, you would wear a white carnation. And yeah, I remember that thoroughly. And so since my mother was alive, we had the red carnations put on, all three of us boys, Houston boys. And my father, whose mother was dead, he had a white carnation. All of that. And all of that, it brings some pleasant memories. But moving forward on that, I said to Karen, you are not my mother, but you are the mother of my children. And so I will honor you, but I will not give you a card. But I will simply say to you this weekend, just like last weekend was yours because it was your birthday, this weekend is yours also because you are the mother of my children. And so whatever you want to do, wherever you want to go, it's up to you. And she said, I think I want to go thrift shopping. I said, I want you to go with me just in case I find something I want, and you can help me carry it to the car. There we go. I got the deal done. Didn't have to give her a card, don't have to do anything else because that's what she wants to do. She may want something else come Saturday or Sunday, but that's okay. We've done the deal. And of course, I think my daughters, even though they are kind of in that, why should we do Hallmark holidays? I think for the most part, they'll come through and she'll probably get a card and more than likely a phone call, and we will have done it right. But that's the story that is my family. And of course, here's the deal. When I talk about that, each one of you who is listening to this right now, you are able to create your own story and your own thoughts, maybe your own good feelings, and some of the things that have happened in your own life. And so that's part of why we do this. And we then understand that, yeah, someone had a great mother and so did I. Someone had a great mother, but I didn't. And that's okay. It's known, it's accepted. That's the way life is. And when we find ways to have conversations about the good and the bad, the ugly and the sad, and things of that nature, realizing that there is no judgment involved, it's simply a way of expressing the common humanity of life being ups and downs and backs and forth as it goes forward. And I just got word from a friend this morning that his dear wife, who has been going down the dementia trail, all of a sudden, she just died. And there he is, and he says, and I'm thinking about Mother's Day and all of that, and my family, they're wondering what, yeah, those are the life situations that are true to us all. And just simply a presence and listening. When he called this morning, I think he would say that we had a conversation. But you know what? I just really kind of listened. And as he talked. And afterwards, he thanked me for the conversation. He thanked me for the advice and the consolation. That can happen. Hey, there we go. You do with Mother's Day and Father's Day and with Hallmark holidays as you see fit. But always remember that when we celebrate something, we always understand that some things are not for each and every one of us as they might seem to us. As I oftentimes put out is that one of the marks, and I teach this in communication, is that we tend to put our biography on everybody else. So you're trying to sell something or convince somebody of something. What we unconsciously do is we believe they have the same ideas, same beliefs, same values, same concerns as we do. And they don't. As I just said in my talk about 2 weeks ago, a part of the lesson is that they don't care. They don't care. They don't care. As much as you might care, they don't care because we so much care about other things. I'm done for the day, done for Friday, done for Saturday, done for Sunday. Whenever I happen to put this up and you listen to it. But keep in touch, because what we want to do going forward in this year 23 is that it's going to be an even difficult, more challenging year. Things within our own country and in the world, the anarchy and the incivility and some of the just why in the world are these things happen, and the possibility of an economic recession. And if the economic recession starts in America, it goes worldwide. And what will all of this do? And all of a sudden, people are finding out that artificial intelligence is already, in some cases, starting to catch the jobs of certain people. And what are we going to do about that? Well, we're going to have to learn, as I just said in a past podcast about a day ago on prayer, we're going to have to learn how to do prayer, praise, poise, and presence. 4 words: prayer, praise, poise, and presence. And if you want to find out more about that, maybe we'll talk about that next week. Until next week, all the best and blessings to you, and may you have something significant for you and the people you love to celebrate. Today or sometime soon. Something to celebrate, and then do it. All the best. StanHouston@gmail.com. StanHouston@gmail.com. Let's keep the conversations going. Bye for now.